So, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has finally revealed a new dinosaur, the Carnotaurus. So, let's take a look at that. Right, so this is the dinosaur, the Carnotaurus, the Boreal Horn. So, this is a fire dinosaur synchro that's also a tuner. It has 2000 attack, 200 defense, really doesn't matter. Like, I guess you could rekindle it, but who does that nowadays? We have 1 tuner and plus 1 tuner monsters, so it doesn't have to be made out of dinosaurs, but you probably will only make it out of dinosaurs. So, the first effect is that during the main or battle phase, you can immediately after this effect resolve, synchro summon 1 dinosaur using monsters you control, including this card. So, probably, like, this guy's gonna use the fact that it is a tuner to synchro into something else. But it also has to be a dinosaur synchro, so yes. L. Baron de Fleur, good. I hate that card. Unfortunately, I'm in the OCG, so people still use it, but glad to see that I don't use the card because that's not a dinosaur, but glad to see that it can't be abused. When a monster declares an attack, you can special summon 1 dinosaur monster from your hand, ignoring its summoning conditions. But you can't special summon until the end of the turn, except dinosaur monsters. Here we have it. Honestly, like, this is, like, exactly the kind of card that I was worried it might be, because this card, this is pretty useless, right? Because when a monster declares an attack, so the way my deck uses dinosaurs, at least, is, heck, even Jirax, the way the Jirax and dinosaurs right now use dinosaurs right now is, they use dinosaurs as a going first method. And the number 2 effect of the Carnotaurus isn't going to be useful at all, because it has to be used when a dinosaur declares or a creature declares an attack. So, because turn 1 doesn't have an attack phase, it's basically just a useless card. You can only use it when the opponent's monster decides to declare an attack, but the way modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Goes, by the time they're attacking, they probably got an out to this. So, pretty useless. Then you could say, oh, during the main or battle phase, immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon 1 dinosaur synchro monster. Well, guess what? Unfortunately, there aren't that many good dinosaur synchro monsters. So, what dinosaurs can we make? You might be asking. So, guys. So, once again, exact same issue that we've been talking about with this Jirax Stego. They changed nothing. We have Jirax Meteor, which, by the way, people have said that, oh, we can make Jirax Meteor, right? No, you can't actually make Jirax Meteor, because Jirax Meteor requires a Jirax tuner, and the new Carnotaurus is not a Jirax dinosaur. It might be a fire synchro, but it doesn't have Jirax in its name, so you can't actually make a Jirax Meteor using the Carnotaurus. So, yeah, because Jirax, as you can see, right, the Jirax Meteor requires a Jirax tuner or 2 more non-tuner dinosaurs, so you can't make it, because it's not a Jirax. So, what can you make, you might be asking? You probably want to special summon something from your hand, and then use its ability to, synchro summon into something. So, I personally think the best dinosaur to summon would be the, Glaciosaurus. But Glaciosaurus is only useful if you have a normal monster in your graveyard. So, I guess if you have the Frostosaurus in your hand, you could special summon it with the Carnotaurus and synchro summon it together to make this guy. But it's such a very, very specific occasion, I really can't see myself using it. And if you have a level 2 card, for example, like a baby Ceratosaurus or a baby dinosaur, you could special summon it with the effect of Carnotaurus, and then go into Spinosavati, which has an effect that can allow to pop a monster on your opponent's field, but you can only use it on your turn, so doing it in the, like when the opponent is attacking isn't quite useful. And Jirax Giganoto, which is pretty sweet. It's like the only like pretty decent like Giganotosaurus in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. But it sucks. This card is terrible, basically. And not only that, it's a level 7. So if you want to summon this guy, you need to use the Carnotaurus and a level 1 normal dinosaur. Not really normal dinosaur, but like a non-tuner dinosaur, which in modern meta, the only level 1 dinosaur that is not a tuner that people use is Animadorn Archosaur, and I don't know what you are doing if you haven't summoned it, by now. So yeah, like, it's the second turn the opponent is attacking you. Like, what are the chances of you having the Archosaur in your hand? You'll probably use it on your main, on your first turn. So, and all that just to get Giganotosaurus on board, which doesn't really do much. Basically, what it does, it increases its attack by every Jirax in your graveyard by a measly 200. So, it really doesn't do much. So, I can definitely see someone maybe using Glaciosaurus to maybe block off attacks because itself can't be destroyed by attacks. Like, that's kind of the only thing I can see people use. But at the same time, like, I don't really use a lot of level 6 dinosaurs. The only level 6 dinosaurs that I use are, first is, Dracarys, which is not a normal dinosaur, Xenometeorus, which is a level 6 tuner, and 2 tuners can't make a sinker. You need a tuner and a non-tuner, so you can't really make, Glaciosaurus with that. Or, in my case, Megazowler, which I guess is a replacement for, Glaciosaurus, Frostosaurus in my deck, because I use Gigantozowler, so you want Megazowler to evolve into Gigantozowler, so it makes sense that I use Gigantozowler. Megazowler instead of Frostosaurus. It just makes logical sense, right? Like, it doesn't have to do anything with ability, it's just cool that way. But anyways, like, unless you have that guy already in your hand, you don't really want to do that. And by the time you've already scouted out Carnotaurus, you've probably already used Xenometeorus' ability, so you already used, your Frostosaurus or Megazowler. It's in your graveyard, or it's in Material of Lars, so you really can't use the Carnotaurus to summon it from your hand. It doesn't work like that, so yeah, I'm not quite sure what to make out of this card. Also, of course, we have another dinosaur, which is the new one that's gonna get released, the Astaro, which, again, Astaro is pretty funny because if you have a level 4 dinosaur in your hand, which is one of the more common dinosaurs that you'll have, you can use that guy and synchro summon it into Astaro during your opponent's battle phase, a creature that can prevent opponent's special summoning stuff, so, which doesn't really work, because the only reason you do that is in either the main phase 2, or if you're synchro summoning like Tempi in your battle phase, that's a special summon by effect, so you can, Astaro can't actually block that, so, yeah, not so sure. The only reason I can possibly see someone do that is make Astaro and get Astaro killed, and then use Astaro's graveyard ability to launch a meteor. But, like, why go through all that when you can just most likely just summon Astaro to begin with? I really don't see the point in this card. Like, what does this Carnotaurus even do? I've seen some people say that, especially this guy says that, it's nice that the Carnotaurus has the ability to, summon a dinosaur ignoring its summoning conditions, because, yeah, that's a thing. As I did show you guys what it does, right? So, you can summon a dinosaur from your hand, ignoring its summoning conditions. So, you can use the Quetzal, or if you have Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, you can, again, special summon it during the battle phase. If it was the main phase, I can kind of see people using it, but during the battle phase? Like, which is really silly, because I get it. Like, Jiracs are supposed to do shit in battle. But this card isn't even a Jirac card. It's supposed to be a regular, like, Synchros level 6 dinosaur. Like, it's really not that, like, if it wasn't during the main phase, I can see myself maybe adding this guy in as a funny tech option, but because it's during the battle phase, Ultimate Conductor Tyranno can't do the flip thing, like, Spinosavati can't really do the pop thing, which you really can't do because it's not even your phase to begin with. You can't even use Astaro's Synchro special summoning prevention thing as well. So it's really not that useful. Like, I can't really see myself anyone using this. Like, it's really not that good, so it's quite a shame. I really love this guy's design, but it's such a mediocre card. Like, I get what you're trying to say, because you don't have to worry about special summoning conditions, but if Overtrex Quatlus is already in your hand, if after you've summoned this guy, there's just something wrong with this. The only reason I could possibly see, like, the only, like, silver lining I can see with this Carnotaurus is the fact that maybe in the future they plan on adding in a really crazy dinosaur synchro that does something on your opponent's turn. Similar to what Doodlebeast Tyranno or Transcendosaurus Meteorus does, which is like, they appear on your opponent's turn and they pop cards on your field, or on their field, to gain yourself an advantage. That's what they do, but, basically, the Carnotaurus right now is a much worse version of that. Like, if you're gonna run Carnotaurus, just run Doodlebeasts, I'd say. Because Doodlebeasts, unlike the Carnotaurus, is actually a zero investment card. You can always special summon it, or at least, like, you don't actually have to, like, use up your resources summoning these cards, so... And plus, always having a free body for Doodlebeast is always nice, but... Like, I really can't, like, find any possible use that the Carnotaurus could be used for, so... Yeah, which is, another funny thing I've realized is that, for some reason, this guy's translated as, well, how do you say that? For some reason, the website is translated in Korean automatically to funeral Carnotaurus. So literally funeral, right? I hate to say this, but this card is just ass. Maybe not, maybe not. Maybe there's just something I'm missing that this card can do. But even with like pure Jurax, because you have to do this in the battle phase, I can't imagine like this guy being of any use. I really can't. Maybe I can. The only thing I could kind of say is that because itself is a tuner, you summon it as a gate bridge with the Velfido. If you use pure Jurax, right, you get Jurax Velfido and you got level 1 Synchro. Probably gonna be Astro, and I guess you could not Astro, you could Megalo or Allo. So you use Allo and Velfido to make this guy, and then you use Allo's another Allo that you have on the field, or Megalo. If you use Velfido with Megalo, I guess you've still got Allo on your board. You use Allo to recycle Stegosaurus, and then you make Stego and Carnotaurus with Astro, so that even if you launch a Meteor and you get to summon something from your graveyard, you can special summon the Carnotaurus from your graveyard. I guess that's the one thing I can kind of see myself using. So, like, honestly, like, its other effects are completely useless. The only thing I can kind of see is that after you've launched Meteors, like, 3-4 times, because that's what pure Jurax do, you can keep special summoning this guy. And if you have a good dinosaur in your hand, you can, and the opponent probably doesn't have a field, you can use this guy's ability to maybe, like, summon Ultimate Conductor Tremenda from your hand to finish the game. Like, that's kind of what I think they're supposed to do. I think that they're supposed, like, that's, like, right now the Carnotaurus is kind of a thing that prevents, like, because right now, after Meteor has launched after Jurax has launched the Meteor, like, 3-4 times, like, 3 times, yeah, they usually do it 3 times with pure Jurax. It's really, like, after you've done that, there's, like, really nothing that Jurax does. It's kind of like, you've used all your resources, Jurax is now dead. And the Carnotaurus is now here to prevent that from happening. So if you get a very strong dinosaur in your hand, or maybe you can special summon Oviraptor, use its ability to bring UCT to your hand, and then you go to combat, use Carnotaurus to bring back you to just ignore summoning conditions, summon UCT on the board, empty board, and finish him off. Like, that's the only reason. Like, it brings a bit more longevity. Like, it can increase the longevity of the Jurax decks. Like, but that's pretty much all it does. It's really not that good. I can't really imagine myself using this Carnotaurus. It's not that good. So, yeah, I hate to say this. I was really looking forward to this because I could theoretically bring this guy out using Therizia and Drag Gallim, using Drag Volcano. I was thinking about making this guy if it was during the main phase, and if I could specialize dinosaur from the deck, even if it's not deck, or honestly, it doesn't even have to be deck. Right, if it was special summoning a dinosaur from your hand or graveyard, I could see myself this guy being used. But because it's just your hand, it lacks so much functionality. Honestly, I can see myself using this guy if it was from the graveyard too. If it was also from the graveyard, that's awesome. But because, like, if you usually use the dinosaur combo, you don't really have a lot of resources in your hand to begin with. So, yeah, it's a shame it doesn't utilize the graveyard. If it did, it would be much better. It's not, so I guess fingers crossed we'll get a better looking we'll get a much better Synchro Dinosaur in the future. But honestly, right now, it kind of feels like this guy's more Dino Wrestler support, because you can make Dino Wrestler Spino Savate on your opponent's turn, and that's kind of useful if you want to play pure Dino Wrestlers, if anyone does that. So, yeah, hooray. Right, we got that out of the way, so what else do we have?